You're watching our live and continuing coverage of the big Modi-Nawaz Sharif meeting. We are told any time from now is when Pakistan's Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif will step down to that lobby of the Taj Mansingh Hotel where that much anticipated press conference starting. I also have these images coming in now from outside the Prime Minister's office in South Block. Uma Bharti, Harshvardhan, several of the ministers coming in one by one for that big cabinet meeting. That meeting is still some time away, but all these ministers are coming in one by one for that cabinet meeting. And what a hectic day Modi's have. He's literally spinning like a top, met all these world leaders, is currently with Manmohan Singh, meeting him at his residence, and after that he has this big cabinet meeting. He's keeping a punishing schedule, ensuring journalists keep a punishing schedule as well, our experts in the studio, and also Mr. Dogra, all the bureaucrats who are working with him will need to spin as hard.
Well, they definitely need to get used to a different pace, and it's going to be a very tough
bureaucrats
pace.
Will be thinking bure din aa gaye in terms of how things were earlier and how much the pressure has gone up by.
But the human mind and human body adjust very fast. So initially bure din aa gaye, but they may get huge satisfaction if things work out fine.
No,
if
I
the
think
country starts moving.
because bureaucrats will also get some liberty to work.
Yes,
absolutely,
and achieve what they want to achieve.
And the confidence of knowing that they will be backed. They will be backed in that's Sushma Swaraj, External Affairs Minister, beaming, waving out to the cameras. Satish Gupta, her aide, going up with her. This is the first cabinet meeting that is taking place. One by one, all the ministers coming in. I would have really liked to see a Sushma Swaraj press conference instead of a Sujata Singh press conference on the back of that meeting. But maybe she needs some more time to get accustomed to this. That Neelam Kapoor, Principal Information Officer in the government, we're told that there's a possibility that a private person may also come in from the private sector to help with publicity and media. That's something which is being spoken of at this time. That's something that could shake up Shastri Bhavan.
Certainly.
And the Information and Broadcasting Wing, the whole Press Information Bureau of the Government of India. All these ministers...
Is it MJ Akbar?
No, they're talking about a lady who might be coming in. They're being very secretive and guarded, as is Modi's want, and that's what he's ensuring everybody else does the same. They take, when you have a powerful leader, everyone takes their cues from him and starts acting in the same manner.
But it will not be anything unusual. After all, as you know, Rahul, media advisors to the Prime Minister have always been private persons.
Malhotra, Harsimrat Kaur Badal will emerge from that vehicle. There you go. That's the Food Processing Minister. Harsimrat Kaur Badal also coming in for this meeting. They're all very happy. They've stayed in opposition for a long time. They've been saying things in Central Hall that, we might be old by the time we get another opportunity to be in government. In that sense, Modi's made it possible for them. And therefore, his writ is unquestioned and unquestionable because he's the man, Mr. Ranade, who's brought them into power, and therefore, whether it's a bureaucrat or whether it's a minister, they all need to acknowledge his supremacy and fall in line.
exactly. And that is what they're looking for, clear direction, and that's what they're going to get. And I think, as you said, the bureaucrats will be happy at being allowed freedom of action and being backed.
I think I see Ravi Shankar Prasad, the new telecom, IT and law minister. He's got a bombastic portfolio to go with that big voice. He of course will be all over television screens. One of the more prominent ministers in the NDA government, has been amongst the most prominent faces representing the BJP. His career kick-started as the lawyer for the Ram Janmabhoomi case, helping out the VHP there, but since then he's really assumed a much bigger profile. All of them coming in one by one. There's still a long time to go for this cabinet meeting to start, because Modi is currently at the residence of India's former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh at 3 Motilal Nehru Marg, which is where Sheila Dikshit used to once stay. That's Anand Kumar coming in as well. So all of them coming in one by one. We of course still, that's Ram Vilas Paswan. We're still, of course, waiting to see Nawaz Sharif. That's the man we're most excited about, to hear what he has to say about the meeting with Narendra Modi. We haven't heard that just as yet, but I'm sure we will be hearing from him very soon. It is Nitin Gadkari's birthday, so he's in Nagpur, so I don't know whether he'll be able to come back for this press conference or for this cabinet meeting or not, because he'd gone to Nagpur to thank all the people who worked hard in his campaign. Ram Vilas Paswan is now the new Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution Minister. He's just walked in. There's Nitin Gadkari. There you go. Happy birthday, Mr. Gadkari, former president of the BJP, very fond of laddus, despite doctors telling him to stay away. But nonetheless, that's who he is, and that's the way he's been. he's also got a very, very important role to play. With all the infrastructure ministries coming into play, he's got road, transport, highways and shipping. And there's a lot of synergy which can be exploited between the two ministries, which so far were functioning as silos. They now will function in tandem under the same person. There was talk about whether railways could be brought in under that same transport ministry, but that would have been probably too big to handle, given just the size of the Indian Railways. Mr. Ranade, what are your expectations from this cabinet? We see Najma Heptulla now, the new Minority Affairs Minister, coming in. What are your expectations from this cabinet, and how do you expect it to be different from the last government?
Well, I think the first thing is it will be a more cohesive cabinet. It will be, there is one leader, the rest are all certainly a notch below. I think the direction will be clear. It will be revive the economy, build the infrastructure in order to get growth, for which they'll have to work pretty hard if they want to boost growth within this year. And I think that will define this cabinet in the beginning. Apart from, as I said, so many ministers of state, their performance will be watched, and I wouldn't rule out if there's a whiff of corruption against anyone or if there's inefficiency, there could be changes.
Shankar Prasad, there's a tsunami of expectations riding upon which Modi has landed in South Block. Will this new cabinet, from what you've seen so far, be able to live up to those expectations, sir?
They better do, because Mr. Modi is a hard taskmaster. If those who cannot meet his aspirations, they will have to go away. So people work hard. He's chosen the right team, the best team that he could of the available people. He's given them a task. They better do it. If they don't do it, if they don't perform, they'll be held accountable and they will be shown the door.
And that's the way it really should be.
Not the way in the 10 years of UPA.
Yeah, because there's just too many coalition pressures there. Even if you want to get rid of someone, you can't. We slip into a break. When we come back, we'll go across live to Taj Mansingh. This is the most inordinate delay because it's the Pakistan High Commission that announced that the briefing would happen at 2:20. It's been 2.5 hours since. We still haven't seen Nawaz Sharif come down. When Shatrughan Sinha came down just a couple of moments before now, he said that Nawaz Sharif would be here in 2 minutes. Well, many more than 2 minutes have passed. He isn't here yet, but we're hoping that he will be back. Shatrughan Sinha, Nawaz Sharif is a big Bollywood fan. So he met with Hema Malini, he met with Dharmendra.
Surely not consulting him on
No, he likes Bollywood, he likes their films. He had a chat with Dharmendra and Hema Malini also yesterday.
That's fine.
That's fine, but Mr. Nawaz Sharif, we're waiting anxiously to hear you.